is the impact that the Western culture has had on the youth through social media, movies, series, etc. The other reason I believe is the growing perspective of the youth making the Western culture to be cooler than ours. Our ministry has kept all these points in mind and has come up with policies to preserve our culture. Our first step would be to promote folk dances and music by organizing fests, competitions, which would be on national, state, or even district levels. We would also put these performances on our state government website where people could visit it, set back, and appreciate it. We will also promote tourism to areas of culture and heritage which either have not been recognized by the government or neglected and make sure that the people could learn regarding the culture of said place. We would also form culture clubs where the youth could go and learn about culture. We would also modernize these clubs by putting holograms, videos, and things that would attract the eye of anyone who sees it. By working towards this, we will also move forward with a second aim, which will be focusing towards the development of the northeastern regions of our country. Just like Prime Minister Narendra Modi rightfully said, that the development of the country would only happen when the development of the northeastern regions are done. For the development of the northeastern regions, we have planned some policies, such as prevention of insurgency. We will do this by putting a stop to the activities by illegal groups like United Liberation Front of Assam or Tripura Force, Tiger Force. We would also make sure that the insurgents that take up jobs of the locals would be set to or put at stop. Our second policy would be toward the improvement of infrastructure. We would make sure that the roads are properly managed, the demolition of illegal structures causing congestion of roads is done. We would also use the potential of hydropower to stop power shortage. We would also work towards the preservation of natural resource base. We would do this by reducing the mining activities and the industrial activities in the areas affecting the resources. We would also stop the exploitation and mismanaged use of resources. We would also provide provisions to provide capital to decline the dearth of local capital. Now, my Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ms. Bhumika Suresh, would tell about the goals for youth affairs and sports.
Warm welcome to everyone that is present this evening. In our country of 130 crore population, which consists majority of youth, it is our responsibility to nurture them as this generation of young minds would be the leaders of our country tomorrow. We from our ministry want to ensure the correct growth of our country's youth. Keeping this in mind, I, Bhumika Suresh, the Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs, Culture and Sport, suggest to concentrate both on physical and mental well-being of today's youth. They are not only undergoing biological changes, but also major changes mentally. Mental health of this generation is taking a downhill because of peer pressure and distractions around them. We will make it mandatory for schools and colleges to set up consultations with the psychiatrist in the premises and free consultations in the hospitals for students below poverty line to keep them mentally fit and to get away from unwanted distractions by seeking professional help. India still hasn't been open and confident about seeking help from a psychologist. If we, the students from a very young age, start consulting the professionals, we can create an environment where we can speak openly about our mental health to people. As we have already digitalized our daily life because of the pandemic, we promise to start free online consultations for students from the government, which will help students to get through their teenage life smoothly. Let's not let the youth struggle in silence and teach them to be open about their problems. If we look at the Olympics this year, our country was placed at the 12th position. Every citizen of the country was happy to notice that our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciated the athletes who represented our country in this Olympics. But not many people wondered why we but many people wondered why we weren't placed first instead of 12th. This is because of the less importance we are giving to the sports community in our country, unlike the others. I would like to say that we are not going to replicate another country, but we ourselves are much more capable of to represent our country in the field of sports in a better way. We have been introduced to sports since we were young, and our country has hidden talents to compete at international level, but they are not able to either afford to train or do not have any platform to showcase themselves. Keeping this in mind, our ministry would work towards making sure that every single citizen of our country never faces any disappointment because we as a country were not able to provide for it. We would build more grounds and sports centers which can be accessible to everyone for free and appointing the best coaches for each sports category in these centers so that everyone gets a chance to seek help from the professional athletes at a lesser cost. I would say that our country has not been able to promote each sport, but as we move forward, we would fund and promote sports of all types from our ministry, including the ones that are not so popular, to make sure all the sports enthusiasts get to train for the sports they love. We will help our citizens to be successful by fulfilling their needs, whether it be economically, physically, or mentally. Thank you.